People, deluded. Now, Arsenal have just drawn 2-2 against Crystal Palace, and for me, people, I've still got a lot of things to say. I know I've spoken about the player ratings and offered at this point my general thoughts. Go and check out them videos if you haven't. I'm annoyed, people. I'm annoyed for several reasons. Some that affect this game, some that are directly as a result of this game, and some that are not. Let's start with actually the not. Now, for me, I've been a grassroots level footballer. That's not the same as Premier League and whatnot. None of us have, people. But I'm all sure you've played for teams that are going for the respective Sunday league titles and cups and things. So you've been in changing rooms, people. I've been in changing rooms. Oh, Ryan FC won this week. Interwood won this week. Who else was there? Boardwalk Farm won this week. They're second in the table. Blah blah blah. So and the flip side of that is, okay, we know we need to win here. We lost here, they lost here. We drew there, they drew there. So we need to take points here. These players are not stupid, and they do it. Football is the same. It's just obviously different at levels. These players must be going a week or 2 weeks from now, looking at this end of October to early January period, specifically for me, November to January, as the most toughest period. Had 3 games this week. Not look convincing in any, but I've had 3 games this week. The games are coming thick and fast. It's going to be a big test on every member of that 26-man side. So you've got to be saying, yo, listen, we've got to be up for it today. Are we really just saying we want top 4 to win these games, or genuinely want to do this thing? And it seems like a thing where everybody, you know, when everyone wants more money or financially rich and things and stable. But how many people are going to go out there and learn qualifications or languages or things that are going to enable them to reach that level? Not many. It feels like that with Arsenal, because we hear the talking, we don't see it. Sheffield United result, you know it's a tough game. You need to go out there and do the business or walk away with something. There's question marks over our away form. There's praise for Sheffield United. You need to go out there and play with a convincing fashion. From start to finish, it weren't there. Sheffield won. I'm not going to harp on about them games. It happens. We went to Thursday. Again, 10 changes, so let's not harp on about that. But the one consistency is the way the football has been playing. That falls with Emery, and you lot know me, for the last 15 months, I've had a real hard time looking at what Emery is trying to introduce to this team. But then you come to today, people, and for Emery, who's been iffy this week, yeah, we got away with it with Pepe in midweek, and we was poor at Sheffield. We need to win today, people. We need to get something. And to be fair, there was, let's remember the first 10 minutes, we went 2-0 up. Arsenal standards, that don't happen. But where we messed up, game management. We conceded 10 minutes or so before half-time. That's cool. What is said at half-time? What is said is 2-1, a famous, dangerous lead in football. It's 2-1, what is said at half-time, people? It's been meant to, someone tell me what is said at half-time. Because they're going out there 10 minutes after they're conceding a goal. Woeful in the second half. Can't play 5-yard passes, lack of movement, lack of creativity, nervousness. Looked like they knew mentally that Palace were going to get a second, and Palace sniffed for that. Palace had opportunities, people, let's be honest, second half especially, and it did look like we was getting the rub off the green. But we've dropped them points. And the fact is now, 2 Premier League games now, potential 6 points on the line. We've taken 1 after losing and dropping 2 points today. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And it's poor. We are going to drop more points this season. Let's not be naive. We've got to play City twice. We've got to go Stamford Bridge. And we've got to play Chelsea twice. Got to play Spurs again. Don't know what result that's going to be. Got Leicester away from home in a couple of weeks. Got Wolves away from home at one point. Have we played Southampton away from home? Forgive me if I'm wrong yet. And at home, we've got some difficult games, people, especially the away ones. Brighton, forgive me if I'm wrong, if we ain't played that, I could be wrong about some of these. It's tough. So we will drop more points. We make things harder for ourselves. Emery makes things harder for himself from having no clear philosophy, attacking defensively, whatever, from being here for 15 months. We make it harder ourselves in-game by not smelling blood and scoring 3-4. Like Chelsea yesterday, they went 4 up. They kind of messed about and conceded 2. The result stays 4-2. We don't smell blood. I can guarantee you, Palace in that dressing room, Roy Hodgson was bollocking them for their poor performance and bottling it in the first half. But reminded them that it is 2-1, that there's something to play for. And they went out there and played for it. Why is it always us that these teams happen against? When last did we beat Palace now, people? Palace got a good record at home against us now. I mean, at our place. We make games harder for ourselves, like you saw against Bournemouth to a degree, and definitely Aston Villa. We rarely start fast, and most importantly, we can't keep a clean sheet and we can't defend. So I have to wonder, do these players really want it? Is there really consistency, or the tactics? Emery's a what's even the word? decorated coach, people. He's won 3 Europa League titles. He's done good things in the game. He knows more about football in his left toe than I do, people. But where's the philosophy? I heard protagonist, bravery. I like to score against teams. I know everything about all these players at the club already. Man, I'm seeing none of that. So what's going on? Leicester could have an iffy period and so could Chelsea. Right now they're seen as the messiahs. But for the very fact that both of them guys have been in their jobs for less time than Emery and able to do what they want to do, what's said? Lampard ain't got to bring his players. Fair enough, Lampard's on the young player thing and he probably relished Callum Hudson-Odoi and all of these guys. He probably relished working with them. But he still had to coach. The one problem with Chelsea, like us, is defensively. But you can see very early on what he wants to do. Rodgers the same. What is Emery trying to do with these boys? I can criticise these players for not showing fight, consistency and all of these things I believe these players should be. But ultimately everything falls at the feet of the manager. He's picked hella hills to die on this year. This is his squad. Players that were brought in under previous regimes, he's deemed players that can come out and go and come in, sort of thing. He's marginalised Ozil, rightly or wrongly. I'm just highlighting the point. Mustafi's basically begged to stay. El Nene, Mkhitaryan, all these guys have been gone. Young players promoted, new players brought into the side. Players like Xhaka forever playing, people. This is his side. This is the hill he's going to die on. Whether the board, for instance, I made a video today. The board allegedly are supporting the Ozil situation. That's going to fall at their feet of Emery. Do you think the fall guy is going to be Sanya and all of these guys? So you make sure, if you're not including Ozil, and I'm not saying you have to, because he won't be amazing if he does play. If you're not including Ozil, you better damn well make sure these other players are showing consistency. And I think that's impossible in this team. Because it doesn't matter if Ozil is in this team, it doesn't matter if it's Ceballos, it doesn't matter if it's our front three. Have you noticed the players with the most technical qualities in this team find themselves dropping hella deep? The only exception is Aubameyang because he stays up there and scores. And even today when we're chasing the game, he's out wide, he's dropping deep. Lack of the same because they're hungry for the ball. Because there's no philosophy. And the longer there's no philosophy and something really to unite the fans, it's going to be an issue. I do think so many fans were blinded by the fact of he's a new coach, he's a breath of fresh air from Wenger. They were willing to turn a blind eye and not really look at things that Emery was doing and consider, is this the right thing? I say specifically during the 22 unbeaten run, because these same results were here where we're making games harder for ourselves, but we're just winning. Football is like life. When it's all going well, you're riding high. When it rains, it really pours, and it's pouring right now, people. We're in, I don't want to exaggerate, but we're in a poor place. We've taken a possible 6 points. We've got one, people dropping 5. What's going on there? What is going on? And the longer the club or someone doesn't come out and say Ozil is being marginalised because we're not using him, or just say something so everybody can go, yo, alright, cool. The chanting can stop at grounds. It's toxic. The man, rightly or wrongly, fans can voice their opinion, so please not tell me that's the issue. He's not in the squad. We're having iffy results. Fans are banging him for Ozil. It creates a toxic environment. The Xhaka thing today, he let down his teammates. You let down, what did your teammates do to you? They fight day in, day out, whether we believe it or not, in training with you. They're trying to put this result in game at the period, right, and you're letting them down. They're if it was an army, you're the lieutenant. That's your platoon, or whatever it's called. You're letting them down. You're sending your guys out there to die in war. You're walking off the field. They've put blood, sweat and tears into this Arsenal team, allegedly, as you. And you as your captain should be able to recognise that. And you're letting them down. Disgraceful. And the manager, whether you agree with the manager, he's made you the captain. The one person whose opinion actually matters in regards to your ability has made you captain, because everyone else wouldn't have you as that. And you let them man there down. Disgraceful. Should never play for this club again. He's meant to be the captain. Saying that though, Xhaka is right to react, because I do think he's human. It don't matter what occupation you are, profession and all of this jazz, people. He's human. He's had to take death threats. He's had to take personal comments on social media to his pregnant wife. He's had to, at times like today, be scapegoated. We know Xhaka's not good enough. But there was no need for fans to really get on his case today. You can have your opinion, but I don't feel there was really no need for that. So he's going to react. It's like a volcano. It's been there for weeks. And it's just gone, innit? Obviously, he's not helping himself with all of this and whatnot. So I don't feel everybody's right. I mean, these sort of things just make it toxic, people, on top of the iffy results and whatnot. And I'm tired of this. It's still here, people. It is still here. The club the reality is, Emery, the players, all you can do is, I don't want to see, nobody should be taken off tomorrow. have your recovery sessions, but you lot should be doing some serious debrief and doing some serious tactical training, because you lot have to do some soul searching. I do not believe there's one player within that Arsenal side, maybe Aubameyang within reason, that can say that one, they're playing to their full potential, two, they're giving the cause, or three, are we collectively moving in the direction? Because the same way fans are having question marks, these players have to be having question marks. They have to be questioning Emery's tactics and what we're trying to do from a tactical point of view. They have to be. They have to be, people. They really have to. There's no excuse for Emery. Like Lee Judges pointed out on Arsenal Fan TV when I was there at the game today. It costs 6 million to get rid of Emery. It costs 45 million if we don't get Champions League football. We're going to miss out on a potential outlay of that. Obviously, you've got Aubameyang and Lacazette's future. If I'm Aubameyang, I know you're comfy in London and you're 30 years of age and that. But if them big boy clubs come for you and offer you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you're going to go. Lacazette is clearly not as good as a striker scoring goals as Aubameyang, but he's been linked with Barca's subs bench and Atletico Madrid's subs bench and things like that, whether it's sub bench or not at Barca or the form they're in. You can't turn that down, especially if we're playing like this. And what players would want to come here? Away from... I do think you need Champions League to attract players, but I do think it's a level playing ground now in that 4 of the top 6 have to get Champions League. I don't think it's a massive disadvantage that the other 2 wouldn't be able to sign or go toe-to-toe with XYZ player in it, people. But it is a token. The longer we don't get Champions League and we don't have... You know how one token, probably for Ozil and Alexis to come, regardless of Arsenal not being a winning club. We had Champions League, that was one thing. But we had champagne football with all these values and things. The longer we move away from these things and people don't see that on top of the Champions League, why are players going to sign for us, people? It's a disgrace, people, and it's upsetting, man. It's upsetting. Now, Xhaka's probably got to come out tomorrow and say, I'm sorry in this. Personally, the best thing will probably be disable all Instagram comments and silence yourself. He probably does, but it is what it is, man. We've only got ourselves to blame through poor form these seasons, people, and I'm stressed out, so I'm about to eat this sweet, man. But on that note, people, DG, I'm out, man. I'm stressed, man. Bang.